That kind of person is quite a dangerous character. I think William Ruto is actually unfit for the position of President of the Republic of Kenya. I have come sadly to that conclusion. And to see him say, I do not want to see corruption in my government. Then I start wondering, who is this talking? And I'm sure we will have occasion to discuss a lot.
Is he corrupt?
Who?
William Ruto.
I think, I don't know.
But if you see him talking about corruption, you're like, who is this talking about corruption? Is it because he's corrupt?
You know, I have so many examples.
Not an example, but is he corrupt? Examples aside.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Very. Yes, irredeemably.
Well, that's the former boss for the Ministry of Public Service as well as the Attorney General, and I can assure you that will elicit quite a lot of reactions this weekend leading up to next week. Now, President William Ruto has defended the Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja after the officer faced sharp criticism for attending his rally in Nyeri on Wednesday. Kanja's presence sparked backlash with legal bodies and politicians, raising concerns about the neutrality of the police force, which is expected to remain impartial in political matters. The Law Society of Kenya led the criticism, calling for an immediate public apology from the Inspector General. However, the head of state dismissed the controversy as Kanja accompanied his delegation in Tharaka Nithi on Friday. During his fourth day in the mountain region, Ruto emphasized that there was no issue with Kanja attending a function aimed at serving the public.
And by the way, the Constitution makes it mandatory that in everything that we do, we must engage with the public. The public must participate in whatever we are doing. So what is going on here, for the avoidance of doubt and for the comfort of those who may be confused for one reason or another, is that there is no campaign in Kenya. We are doing what the people of Kenya asked us to do. And IG, we will continue to work with the men in uniform to make sure that we secure the country and we develop our country and participate in the progress of the nation. And for your information, IG, whenever you are not there, there are so many other officers who represent you in those meetings. And there is no difference. And they don't come to do politics. You know? So I don't know what difference there is. In the meeting where I was in Nyeri, there were almost another 300 policemen all over the place. Why do you single out the IG? You know? And so I think let us just be calm, let us relax. There is time for everything. There will be time for campaigns. We will remove our official clothes, put on party colors, and go to the campaign.
The head of state continued his tour of the central Kenya, launching and commissioning projects on the fourth day. As the tour enters its home stretch, leaders accompanying the president heaped praises on him as a hardworking man who has stabilized the economy. The leaders have insisted that the president is not a one-term president and will not fall blackmail to the former deputy president Rigathi Gachagua.
William Ruto ni ngapi? Ati ngapi? 10 bila breaks. Kazi bila breaks. Nasema umepata kijana wa kazi kutoka hapa Tharaka Nithi County. Na mimi sababu nimekuwa nikitembea hapa. Huyu Kithure Kindiki naibu wako ni mtu mpole, ni mtu mchapa kazi. Hana kiburi, hana ukabila, hana uchochezi, ni mtu wa kuchapa job.
Mheshimiwa Rais, si tulishangaa sana kusikia kuna muungwana alikuwa na kuitisha 10 billion ndio akaya kukurudisha tena kama ati usikuwe one term president. Sisi hatutaki 10 billion. Ukipata bilioni kidogo tu kama 5 ya kutengeza Nithi Bridge, hiyo imebarikiwa kwa sababu wewe unafanyanga ile vitu ambayo imebarikiwa. Na asante sana kwa sababu ya kukataa kupatia huyo mungwana 10 billion.
Ile alichaguliwa 2022, uchumi haukuwa mahali pazuri. Uchumi ulikuwa na matatizo mengi. Shilingi ya Kenya ilikuwa hafifu. Bei ya chakula kama unga ilikuwa juu kidogo. Petroli ilikuwa juu kidogo. Na rais ameeleza amekazana miaka 2.5 sasa na ameanza kudhibiti maneno ya uchumi. Ndio unaona shilingi ya Kenya imepata nguvu kidogo from 165 to 128. Bei ya unga imetoka 240 230 for 2 kilos to about 130 120.
Na barabara zimetusumbua hapa, zilikuwa zimekwama. Wiki hii tumetoa milioni 320 kukwamua barabara zenu. Na mimi nataka nikubaliane na viongozi wenu, priority roads tutakubaliana ni gani, kwa sababu pale nyuma kwa miaka karibu 4 tumekuwa na matatizo ya pesa ya kutosha ya kutengeneza barabara zetu.
Jubilee Party has taken the next general elections presidential quest for former Interior Ministry CS Fred Matiang'i to his backyard as proof of its commitment to backing him up. This comes amid the former cabinet secretary's conspicuous absence from the country, lack of his pronouncement for the seat, and the emergence of a competitor from the region. Addressing supporters at Keumbu in Kisii Central, the SG Jeremiah Kioni seized the opportunity to cast aspersions on politicians purporting to preach unity ahead of the next general elections. People in the region, including Gen Zs, were urged to register as voters and come out in large numbers in support of the Jubilee Party presidential candidate.
Tunamtegemea Mheshimiwa Matiang'i. Wakati atafika akicharudi kutoka pahali anafanya ile anafanya, ni vizuri hakikisha kwamba wamekaa pia na viongozi wale wengine wote watengeneze muungano ambao utahakikisha ya kwamba William Samoei Ruto ameenda Sugoi without any obstacles. Kwa hivyo lazima tukae na viongozi wale wengine wote tutengeneze a proper formidable coalition. Lakini kumbuka, tunaposema mambo ya coalition ni sawa, tutafanya coalition. Lakini wewe ambao unaelewa, ukumbuke ya kwamba wewe ndio uko na kura na wewe ndio tunataka useme unataka kiongozi na nani. Tusije tukakaa kwa boardroom tusae mtu kesho yake asae matunda kama ile tuko nayo na Ruto hapo. Nimesikia mambo hapo, watu wanakuja wakisema unity, 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 unity. Kumbe yao ni disunity. Kwa sababu ametumwa hapa achukue kudi fulani aitoe kwa wao wengi akisema unity, unity, unity. Lakini anataka kutoa kwa sababu Ruto anajua tukiwa kitu kimoja yeye nyumbani mapema. Sababu watu na ulimi mzuri watakuja wakisema we want unity, we want unity. Mtu akikwambia I want unity, mwambie we agree with you, join the others. Hello? Yes. Join the others. Usije kututengenezea bakuli yako hapa na unatuambia hiyo bakuli yako ndio inaweza leta unity peke yake. Haiwezekani. Join the others. I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Newly nominated principal secretaries appeared before the respective National Assembly committees for grilling. The exercise, which began on Friday morning, saw several nominees vetted. President William Ruto nominated the PSS on March 20th, 2025. He nominated 14 persons to serve as principal secretaries in various ministries. Those who appeared before the committees were the State Department for Broadcasting and Telecommunication nominee Stephen Isaboke, PS nominee State Department for Devolution Michael Lena Salon, PS nominee for Medical Services Frederick Oluga, PS nominee for Public Service and Human Capital Jane Imbunya, and PS nominee for Public Investments and Asset Management Cyril Wagunda.
And also the National Treasury to clear the memorandum of understanding. But I would request that I interact with the details of the project if this committee approves my nomination.
Just clarification before you leave that. You mentioned debt and you mentioned the capitalization of KEMSA. if you are approved...
Once and for all, as you've mentioned, we cannot have a recurrent issue. But the other thing about debts that is specifically related to KEMSA is the efficiency of debt collection itself. The efficiency of debt collection itself, which I think is an institutional capacity that can be strengthened.
The rights, basic rights, so access to information, media freedom, and also free expression are actually guaranteed in the Constitution. Those are among the protected clauses in the Constitution. No one can touch them. And the way it was framed is that, in fact, if there's any intervention, it's actually around safeguarding national interests, security, and all that. So just from the onset, Honorable Bensouda, my approach will actually be, first of all, refer to the Constitution, refer to the law, and ensure that that law and Constitution is actually being respected by both the government agencies and the media operators. Number two, where there could be issues operational, my approach will actually be engagement, so that if they are free, they should say what they want, but there is also freedom with accountability.
The national government has announced that they will cater for the full cost of the burial preparations for all 7 members of a family at Limuru who perished following a tragic road accident along the Mai Mahiu Nakuru Road early this week. This is according to the National Assembly Majority Chief Whip and Mugirango South Member of Parliament Silvana Sosoro, speaking during a memorial service to remember the 7 family members at their home at Kamirithu Village, Limuru constituency that was led by the National Assembly Prayer Committee. Osoro stated that the government has stepped in to help the family in an attempt to comfort them and ease the huge burden that was left due to the unplanned accident.
The government of Kenya is going to involve itself katika hii mazishi kuanzia mwanzo hadi mwisho. We want to be part of this. So, na tumeona mahitaji regardless of this contribution ambayo tumepeana na kusupport. I want to make a commitment kama kiongozi katika hii nchi na kiongozi wa bunge, you know, one of the leaders from parliament, ya kwamba we are going to take charge, we are going to support the family. We know the pain you are going through. This is unprecedented, it has never happened. Mimi sijaiona kitu kama hii. Hizo zote nimeeleza, lakini sijaiona hii familia, sijawaiona hii. Sijaiona hii, mpaka very innocent kids, sijaiona hii. This is just unique. And because of that, and hakuna mtu that's why it's called an accident. Hakuna mtu aliandika barua, hakuna mtu alikuwa mgonjwa, hakuna mtu alionyesha indication. We want to give our assurance ya kwamba we are going to stand with this family. Immediately after we leave this place here, we will have a further candid discussion with the president over what we've seen here. And then from there tutatuma mheshimiwa Kirago, mheshimiwa wenu hapa, akuja ashughulike, washikana na mheshimiwa Mother, because nasikia hiyo iko namna hiyo connection iko Mother wa Gilgil na mama county wetu.
Wenzetu upande wa eneo la Nakuru ama Naivasha wataweza kuangalia na kufanya uchunguzi waone ni kipi kilichotokea katika ajali hiyo, ili familia iweze kupata faraja kabisa na waweze kupata haki iwapo wanahisi ya kwamba uchunguzi kulingana na hiyo kuhusiana na hiyo ajali unatakikana ufanywe. Simu waweze kuwa waangalifu barabarani. Ndio, ajali ni ajali, lakini tunaweza kufanya safari zetu zikakuwa salama zaidi kwa kuwa waangalifu kidogo barabarani.
Ukweli wa mambo ni kwamba barabara hii kwa wakati huu imekuwa ndogo, ni kweli, kwa sababu hii barabara ndio Northern Corridor na ndio inafungulia watu wote ambao wanaenda pande za Western, na hii barabara imechelewa kufunguliwa. It ought to have been opened miaka mingi imepita, lakini kwa sasa tunashukuru serikali kwa sababu wakati huu already imekuwa tendered na iko karibu kupeanwa, ndio ianze kupanuliwa na iweze kufika mpaka kule Mau Summit, na hiyo kazi imalizike ili tupunguze hizi ajali za barabara ambazo zimekuwa mahali hapo.
Blessed are they that mourn, for God shall comfort them.
I mean, what a huge loss. 7 members of the same family is such a huge loss, and we condole and empathize with the families of the late. Now, the National Assembly and House Speaker Moses Wetangula have asked the High Court to strike out an application in which a group of petitioners want the Speaker cited for contempt of court about his February 12, 2025 ruling on House leadership. In that ruling, the Speaker, Wetangula, declared Kenya Kwanza Coalition as the majority party and Azimio la Umoja One Kenya is the minority in the House. In a preliminary objection filed at the High Court, Speaker Wetangula in the National Assembly argued that the contempt of court application about the said ruling was defective and in breach of their right to a fair hearing. During a mention of the case on Friday, High Court judges Justices Jairus Nga, John Chigiti, and Lawrence Mugambi directed that the respondents should file their responses to the said preliminary objection within 10 days. The Speaker in the National Assembly were also directed to file their responses to the contempt of court application within the same time frame.
Applicant submissions in respect of the POs shall be filed and served within 10 days of the date of service of the second, third, and fourth respondents' submissions in respect of those particular preliminary jurisdictions. So highlighting of those submissions will be in open court on 17th July 2025.
The government has denied that it intends to muzzle freedom of expression following the recent outcry on social media. Through the National Intelligence Service, it noted that freedom of speech was guaranteed in the Constitution although disinformation was a threat to national security. The agency director Nurdin Haji said the proliferation of information and disinformation campaigns exacerbated by the use of AI-generated content has waged a war against truth, with governments being the biggest targets. Haji said the recent developments, on various technological fronts, including social media and the emergence of digital activism, have escalated the threat to new levels.
The proliferation of information and disinformation campaigns, exacerbated by the use of AI-generated content, has waged a war against truth, with governments being the biggest targets. I therefore welcome the resounding commitment to uniting our efforts to counter the growing influence of these threats. I look forward to furthering our engagement in these subjects during our upcoming Committee of Intelligence and Security Services of Africa meeting in Algiers, where we aim to deliberate on disinformation and fake news and their implication for the stability and security of states. And this is not to be confused with us trying to muzzle free speech and the right to freedom of speech at all. And this is not to be confused with us trying to muzzle free speech and the right to freedom of speech at all. We're talking about fake news, disinformation, misinformation, the sum of which would end up making citizens making decisions that are not informed and that are ill-informed, and thereby bringing insecurity in our regions and continent.
All right, at that point, allow us to take a quick breather. EBN Weekend Edition returns in a bit. Stay with us. Integrity and accountability in the county. He added that the immediate former CC with a long name's termination takes effect immediately, and the County Executive Committee member for Public Works, Roads and Transport will double up as a CC for 6 months as Mwaro's replacement is sourced.
My pleasure to address you on behalf of His Excellency Governor Mungaro, and as I look forward to engaging with you regularly to ensure open communication and transparency in all county matters, please, and I request, please, feel free to reach out for any clarifications and any further information. That notwithstanding, today we wish to inform the public, staff, and stakeholders of a leadership transition in the office of the County Secretary. In accordance with the provisions of the County Governments Act and the Constitution of Kenya, His Excellency the Governor, Gideon Mungaro, has issued a notice of termination of contract to Mr. Martin Mangi Mwaro, who has been serving as the County Secretary of Kilifi County Government. This decision has been taken in the best interest of upholding good governance, integrity, and accountability in the county government of Kilifi. To ensure continuity and efficiency in service delivery, the Governor has appointed Honorable Catherine Kenga, the current County Executive Committee member of Public Works, Roads and Transport, to serve as the acting County Secretary and Head of Public Service for an initial period of 6 months. Honorable Kenga will continue to serve in our current portfolio while taking on other additional responsibilities of
Prime Cabinet Secretary and the Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, Musalia Mudavadi, attended the parliamentary engagement on the Foreign Policy Sessional Paper number 1 of 2025 that outlines a strategic approach to enhance Kenya's diplomatic efforts by optimizing the use of Kenya's assets abroad, securing better terms for foreign service staff, and adapting a professional recruitment process. During discussions with the National Assembly's Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations Committee, Prime CS Mudavadi emphasized that the sessional paper serves as a strategic guide open to parliamentary review and debate for thoughtful refinement before implementation. At its core, the sessional paper seeks Parliament's endorsement to secure a holistic approach to financing foreign policy, leveraging Kenya's international assets and strengthening our diplomatic core.
The overarching request is for Parliament to consider, approve, and adopt the contents and recommendations of the sessional paper. At the core of these requests is the goal of promoting a holistic approach to financing our foreign policy implementation, maximize effective utilization of Kenya's assets abroad, and bolster the foreign service staff through improved terms of service and a structured process of professional recruitment and deployment. As the founding document of the sessional paper, the Kenya Foreign Policy 2024 provides a comprehensive framework for conducting the country's foreign relations and diplomatic engagement. It aims to promote and safeguard our national interests and enhance the country's global standing. Indeed, as the theme of the sessional paper suggests, this is a grand strategy for positioning our foreign policy in the ever-evolving global landscape. This is why you have noted that instead of dwelling so much on pillars, we now have focus areas to reflect the adaptability of our foreign policy to the rapidly mutating global system.
To sports, Kevin De Bruyne has announced he is leaving Manchester City at the end of the season. The club's captain confirmed in a post on social media. Now, De Bruyne, whose deal expires in the summer, signed for City in 2015 from Wolfsburg for a fee of 54.5 million euros, scoring 106 goals in 413 matches in a trophy-laden decade at the club. The 33-year-old will go down as one of the Premier League's greatest players after winning 6 Premier League titles, 2 FA Cups, 5 Carabao Cups and the Champions League in an unprecedented period of success for City. De Bruyne was also part of Pep Guardiola's treble-winning team in the season 2022-2023. Indeed, what sad news that is for the city of Manchester, but also especially for Manchester City fans. That is, rivalry aside, De Bruyne is one of the most technical players, midfielders for that matter, that you'll get across the world, and it'll be interesting to see what team he joins at the end of the season, because he will be a free agent. So, well, that wraps our broadcast tonight. Thank you for watching. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Laura Omondi. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Have yourself a blessed night and a fantastic weekend ahead.